Well, that was an interesting countdown and reset. Interesting. I'll have to look into that. Welcome back. It's Thursday of the second stream of the new year, and well, what do we got going on? I'll admit I'm actually really tired. So what we got going on? So last time was working on getting molecule. Was working on getting Octavia up and running, and was able to uh, get it most of the way through. There's a few things I need to fix here and there and properly Ansibilize, but the thing I'm running into currently is the base networking structure of Molecule and libvirt and the way I'm deploying OpenStack in this environment on my laptop. So this time I'm going to be looking at what I'm thinking of doing is currently there's two network interfaces. One is used by Vagrant and it's a NAT. The other one was meant to be just a local VM to VM type connection so that I could talk to Pulp for IPA, etc. I'm looking at adding another interface to make it so that pretty much ignore the Vagrant one, so it'll still be there, but as far as Ansible's or OpenStack's concerned, it'll be ignored. The second interface will stay where it is, and that will become the management interface. And the third interface will be where the rest of the network, like virtual machine backend type stuff, would go. Just to well, there's a couple things. One is it would help to be able to set up a VLAN so that I can do proper VLAN testing of like, oh, in Ansible I have a VLAN, do this other piece of logic and testing to make sure that logic indeed works. Not going to work on that at the moment, but we are going to get the second interface in there, and without using VLANs, just try to get Octavia to work as intended. Let's go ahead and jump right over. So this is literally exactly where we left off on Tuesday. As you can see, there's quite a few errors, and it's failing to bind. VNC is failing to bind to the socket, mostly because that is the Vagrant IP address, and it shouldn't be. It should be, where am I? There's two NICs, and actually that IP is wrong altogether. That's nice. No wonder it failed to bind. So there's two interfaces. ETH0 is the Vagrant NIC. We're gonna ignore that. ETH1 is gonna become the new management interface, and then and the reason why there's a bridge interface and a tap interface is because Neutron is on here and it's managing the bridge connection with that NIC. So I want to move, right now these are hooking in to ETH1. I'm going to create an ETH2, and then when we redeploy, these will connect to ETH2 instead. And then I need to fix whatever is causing this bad IP. That should not be there. So that's the gist. So while I'm thinking of it, that's where it's coming from. These should be 30. Alright, so yeah, 30. So that's fixed, but the first thing I want to do actually is let's move over to this other workspace down here. I want to add the second NIC, the secondary NIC interface, and I'm going to do that testing on the Keystone so that we can get a faster turnaround time for doing the test and deploy, and just making sure it works all together. What I'm thinking I want to do, can I just add a second line for this? Well, let's try it. Let's just add a second line for this. And then let's just make this, can't be 50 because we have, otherwise we'll have a subnet collision on the real network. Let's just do, actually let's just do 31. These should all be /24s. So ideally that should be enough. Let's try it real quick. Source molecule. That's how tired I am. Convert. Nope. Just do create. Because at this point I want to make sure that secondary line isn't going to cause molecule's interaction with vagrant, or sorry, vagrant and then in turn libvirt to freak out. And actually it looks like it's fine, which is good. Alright, so that's the new guy it's creating. And it looks like it should actually be wrapping up soon. So if we look at the deets, we should see 2 NICs. Or sorry, 3 NICs. Default 0, pulp server 0, and vagrant libvirt. Sorry, someone's texting me. Leave that alone. The vagrant libvirt is just vagrant's natural NAT interface. Pulp server 0 is a routed network, and it's named that because pulp server was the one that started that. I think I was actually able to manually change that name. So let's take a look. Pulp server. That's right, that's not here in molecule, that is actually in vagrant pulp server. Here it is. There's the network interface that pulp server's creating with libvirt. I'm not really able to name that per se. And then here's the third interface, the one we just created, the default 0. And so if we go ahead and pop back over, now that's still building. Which box? CentOS/7, so that I can't log in that way. So let's actually, we should be able to just pop over to go ahead and log in while molecule's still creating in the other tab. So molecule login. There we go. So there's our 3 interfaces. So 121.29 is vagrant. 3254 is what we're gonna label as the management interface. And 31254 is going to be our Neutron is going to take that over for backend VM stuff. So that was actually a relatively straightforward test. I'll let this run all the way through just to make sure there's no errors. There shouldn't be, but better safe than sorry. So thankfully it's as easy as that. So let's go ahead, and it finished. Cool. So molecule destroy. Yeah. And then let's pop back over here. Where is Octavia? And molecule. So we'll go ahead and add this new interface here. We're not doing that. So we got the new interface, and then now we need to make sure that Neutron is configuring appropriately. Prepare. Here it is, VXLAN overlay. So this needs to be, sorry, that's right. This needs to be ETH2. Because that'll be the provider networking interface. Is that right? I get so confused with some of this stuff. And I don't have that thing anymore. Docs. I'm trying to remember, there's a decent enough example that usually gets my head on straight with some of this stuff. Conceptual network overview. Is in one of these. Here it is. One labeled host networking. Go figure. All right. Okay, yeah. So interface 2 is labeled as the provider network. Interface 1 is the management network. We are good. So now I just need to make sure the rest, I don't know why code did that. I just need to make sure the rest of this is a-okay. So resolve name servers, so OpenStack packages, SQL. This should be not this, because that could result in going to the Vagrant interface. We don't want that. So let's go ahead and pull this guy. Bam. Put these spaces in here just to make it look a little neater. It's a little bit of my OCD kicking off. Okay, and finally, is it this? Nope, that wasn't that. Sorry, there's a keyboard shortcut I remember learning and I've forgotten. That highlights the entire word of whatever you're sitting on. Okay, so that should make sure it binds to the right interface. This should actually be ETH1. We did need to change that one. These should really be changed to this. Yeah. I don't want to be specifying IP addresses in here like that. Alright. That should be ideally good enough. Alright, so let's go ahead. I will molecule Octavia, okay. Molecule destroy, molecule converge. Yes. Oh, before I do though, I probably need to do the knet admin again. Delete that. Otherwise we'll have a conflict when we spin back up. And it will destroy and do the whole thing. Alright, so while that's working in the background a wee bit, there was something else I wanted to look into back over here. So let's close out Keystone for now. And we'll hop over to Neutron. No. Man, this is how tired I am. What was I thinking? Oh, I think I was actually Neutron. So, what I was thinking was one setup that I want to do is make it so that I have two scenarios that Molecule can test with. One will be... is Neutron already opened up over here? It is. So let's just, for organization purposes, just drag it over here. One thing that I want to do is start making sure that I've got the base infrastructure for being able to Oh, let me put it this way. I want to look into VLAN, like private VLAN network within the laptop itself. So instead of having a virtual machine tagged to a VLAN that goes out to the rest of the network, I want a VLAN that is just internal. And I'm hoping I can do that. The reason why it's in question is just because I really don't know. I don't need to do that. I believe it had to do with the type of network source. What was I thinking of? Let's open up that. I'll pull this here. Let's. Sorry, I'm trying to organize my head a little. Oh, well, first off, that's not going to work. Let's temporarily pull. Actually, let's just open Keystone again because it has the right settings. I just noticed that this still says VirtualBox, and I want to get this converted to using libvirt instead. There we go. So Galaxy Vagrant. This is libvirt. And then let's just go ahead and copy these two. I'm not concerned. Well, actually, I probably should be. Now that I think about it, if I start a, I'll have an IP conflict if I start this up as is. At least in the private virtual networks. So I'll go ahead and change these. At some point, I should probably put in some sort of rhyme or reason for this, just to make it so that all my modules will never have an IP conflict when I spin up Molecule. For the most part, I'm not too worried about it right now, just because of having IP conflicts, just because I'm only ever working on one module at a time most of the time. But I should have them unique so that in cases when I do, I still never have to worry about IP conflicts. So I want to make sure that's up top so I can monitor it a bit. Excuse me. So Vagrant, libvirt. So this should, what I did here should be enough to get it to start using libvirt now. But this had documentation on networking here. We do. Well, they don't say VLAN outright. Of course they wouldn't. Could have sworn that they had a better breakdown, or more of a breakdown, with these networks. Is that this? The thing I'm most concerned about is potentially having to stand up potentially forcing Molecule to stand up another instance to act as a switch, a virtual switch that understands or a router that understands VLANs. I'm trying to think of why. I'm trying to figure this out in my head a little bit. So, in order to test VLANs, you're going to need a source and a destination, just basic networking. Which means both will need to be on the VLAN itself. In turn, the I don't think the switch actually needs to know. As long as it's acting as a standard switch, it should just forward it along. It won't stop it. Um, Usually, well, most of the time, I'm given the impression most of the time that if it's a dumb enough switch, it'll just forward it along. And the only time a tagged VLAN will get stopped is if it's a managed switch that says, I'm not passing this tag along. But that's when you're just saying you just haven't given the port permission to deal with that VLAN. So from the perspective of testing in that scenario, I would need to purposely stand up a secondary machine, or a secondary machine within the scenario. And neutron. I'm trying to. That's what happens when you don't touch code for so long. Oh, it was the Linux bridge. Okay. So this was traffic from. In the case of where the VLAN would have taken effect was. Okay, right here. All right. So this is where they have mappings to appropriate interfaces on each agent. Fighter, all physical listed in network VLAN should have mappings. I don't have logic here for that. Where did I have logic for that? Oh wait, was that Open vSwitch? It's probably Open vSwitch. Dag nabbit. Where am I losing track of this? Where was this? Interfaces to be used, blah blah. Oh, was it this? Oh, it was this. Self-service network type driver VLAN. Oh, all right. Oh, oh, my head is not here. I apologize. Okay, so this is where you would have you would have it so that you're assigning virtual machines directly to an IP address from the VLAN network. That in turn makes it so that instead of routing traffic from the compute nodes over to the network node and then out to the rest of the network, all of the traffic could just go straight to the network, instead of being parsed by Neutron. That's what was going on. And so, in which case, the test would have to be, I would need a network node with Neutron, a compute node, and a VM deployed on the compute node that's assigned to the VLAN. And then that VM should be reachable through the VLAN interface that it got, from either a third machine or from Neutron. Do I need that third machine? I don't think so, just because of the way OpenStack, well, the way Neutron handles things. It's not going to create It's not going to create the tagged VLAN interface on Neutron itself. It should only do it on the compute node. So I would need another interface that's tagged on the Neutron server so that it can talk to the node. Networking gets complicated real fast, especially if you want to do your due diligence of testing stuff. How's this doing? It is creating the Amphora image. All right. Okay. Oh, I apologize. So let's create a new folder. We'll call this, the name of the scenario will be VLAN. We'll just copy, prepare, we'll actually just copy all these tests for now. I don't want to move, I want to copy. Copy and paste. Okay. I don't care what the marketplace has for RST. Let's close these out. Molecule.yaml. So we would actually want a third interface here, and we'll need to create another machine. This will be VLAN Neutron. And this will be VLAN Compute. These will need to get changed, otherwise we'll conflict. Okay. And 32. All right. Okay. There's that. This is where things get a little tricky. I need to figure out how in Molecule to add a machine or add one of the machines to a group. So that in my playbook here, I can say the Neutron controller gets the Neutron controller role, the other host gets the compute role, because there's no point having two Neutron controllers. Let's see, Molecule. Just want to keep up with this guy. Still going. All right. Configuration. Where did I see something like that? Excuse me. Let me do a search for platforms. Just trying to find any instance where they're listing multiple platforms. Maybe even assigning a group. Oh, here it is. Platforms define the instances to be tested and the groups to which the instances belong. Mapping instances to groups, these groups will be used by the provisioner for orchestration purposes. Children allow the creation of groups. Okay, so I can define a group per instance. So here I'll do Is it? I guess plural. And then we'll put neutron and compute. And then hosts. This is neutron. Can I do multiple hosts inside of a name? I don't remember. Actually, I might have an example of that already. Oh, looks like it's done, so we'll take a look at that in a sec. Roll. Dash hosts. What did I use to call that one? Playbook? No, site. Here it is. And I just said import playbook. Lots of help me. All right. Oh, let's see. I think I'll just do name compute or converge compute host compute roles. Actually, yeah, Ansible bin. Cloud compute. Actually, better an example would probably be, what is Octavia doing for compute? Here. There and there. That's not going to work. Come on. Really? Oh, I know that works. That's right. I'm looking at the thing above and I'm still being silly. Roll your boat. All right, that should work. eth1, okay. All right, we'll test that in a sec. Let's jump back to here. All right, so it compiled, but we know we have missing pieces. So those missing pieces are, let me log in first. Source. Well, no. Login. Sudo sudash. There's a couple things. The key pair currently, the key pair goes to the wrong project. The security group, I believe, also goes to the wrong project. Needs to go to the service project, otherwise it can't find it. And then stop. Yeah, it needs to be uploaded by service and auth user Octavia. Needs to be uploaded to service project. Save key pair to file, that's fine. There's another thing here. The security group. No. Oh, what'd I do Tuesday? security group, the you know what? Let's just poke at it. VI Etsy, Octavia, Octavia.conf. There's a couple things to fix first. One is the glance. Oh. Alright, so I need to be storing. When I upload the image, create the image, upload the image. I need to put a to-do. Store image ID. Is there a way to? Sorry, my phone keeps vibrating. Do not disturb. There we go. All right. Store the image ID with and put into Octavia config file. We'll want that. This is another. I think they want network. So image ID, flavor ID, SSH key name. Oh, I think I already recorded that the key needs to be put into the right project. Yep. And then network list. So I need when I create the load balancer as a service network, store network ID to be put in Octavia config file. Now let's put that twice. Since we could potentially be doing either a flat network or a VLAN network. There's that. And then I don't need the subnet. I'll need that on the command line. Do I need security group? Yes, I need security group. So I was trying to remember what goes in the command line and what goes in the config file. So there's subnet and project and just a name. So everything else needs to go into the config file. That is, and I lost myself. Where am I? Oh, other work group or workspace. There. All right. Security group list. So security group. Where's my? Let me just copy this to do. And just edit it as needed. Stored network ID to be put in Octavia config file. See, those are the rules. Key pair. Eventually, I'll need to put in logic for Barbican, which will honestly be a lot simpler than the self-generating certs I'm doing, or self-signed certs I'm doing. Just all that. Can that be collapsed? All right, that's not the block. That's the block. Am I just? I'm confused. Why did the block not pull in the rest of this? Might be because of this indentation. No, that. Let's fix this so I can collapse the block appropriately. Okay, that's better. Then configure Octavia, which handles the handlers, and all is well. Okay, so let's do a login up here, and sudo su and source OpenRC. Actually, one thing that I know I'm going to need in a sec is to copy the OpenRC to Octavia RC, and I'll need to change this to Octavia and service. We'll need that later because I'll need to create the key, recreate the key and security group in that project. So I'll just source that new file in order to do that. Again, I'm just trying to get this working well enough, and then I can Ansibleize the little pieces I'm missing right now. All right, so first things first. So OpenStack image list. We want this ID, so we'll copy that and $, and paste that in there. $, for VI just says delete from the cursor to the end of the line. We'll have to do the keys in a sec just to make sure. I think the flavor was stack flavor list. I believe it is Amphora. Yep. All right. And then OpenStack network list. So we need this ID, and we will put it there. OpenStack security group list. I believe this is, I'll just put this here for now, but I'll need to make sure I make note of whether or not the security group is happy on deploy. Make sure there wasn't anything else. I think that's everything. All right, so we need to restart Octavia. Restart, and I can just pull the services from my code handlers. Actually, I should just do that. There we go. Okay, so we'll restart that. I know I'm already aware of things I need to change, but I want to try and do a test deploy anyway. OpenStack project list and OpenStack subnet list, because I'll need these two here to do my test. So first was project, and second is subnet. Okay. OpenStack load balancer list, and errored right quick. All right. So our log Octavia, go to the worker. Failed to build compute instance due to invalid key name provided. OpenStack key pair list. No, key pair is one word. Oh, okay. So this was the key pair going into the wrong project. So we will need to. This is where we actually have our new Octavia RC. And if we do the key pair list again, we should come up with Bupkis. And then OpenStack key pair create amphora. We'll put that in amphora.pem. I'll cat the amphora.pem just to make sure all was well. Looks like it is. Okay. So resource our OpenRC, create our load balancer again. Less. Is there a follow in here? Follow. I was kind of hoping for a follow option, so I didn't have to put it in. Oh well. All right. Less worker.log. Exceeded number of retries exhausted all host available. Oh. OpenStack compute list. Or compute service list. Okay, it's up. Let's go to Nova. Okay, security group not found. All right, so the security group does need to also be okay. Security group list. Security group rule list. Let's do that. Rule list. And you'd need that. Okay. So let's do source to. I'll do bottom will be to Octavia or the Octavia user, and top will be the admin user. All right. So OpenStack security group create lbass security group. Okay, created it. Security group rule. So there's a rule create, and that needs to be. So we'll say, where's it? Where did I just see ICMP? ICMP type. Okay, so -- protocol ICMP. The IP range that remote no. I'm confused. Ingress protocol. So would that be remote IP? I haven't done it this way before, so I'm a little thrown off. Ingress, egress. Well, there was also another issue I just realized, potentially. When I create my security group, do I say I don't define egress or ingress? Alright, ingress project list. The project will be service. The project domain it should get, well, take the out for now because it should be able to base it based on what I'm logged into. Let's just do that for now. Oh, and the group that was created has an ID of this. Let's just see what bounces back. Oh, it was fine. Alright, so now we want to do we'll do egress as well. Okay, so then we want protocol TCP ingress where's ports? Protocol project remote IP destination port. Destination dash port, is that it? So DST dash port. DST dash port 22. And we will do egress as well. Rule list. Yeah, that's confusing. Security group list. Security group rule list. This guy. That looks right. Alright, so I think I need security group here. Let's see, Octavia, octavia.conf. Do security group. Okay. While I'm thinking of it. Okay, this create group in service project. Okay. Alright, so now we'll just restart Octavia again. OpenStack load balancer list. I'll want to delete the one I created that's in an error state. Why do I have two? Oh, I never deleted the last one, that's why. Alright, load balancer, delete at. Delete that. That says unable to locate. Why does that say unable to locate? Her. Oh, my copy paste didn't work. Copy pasta. There we go. All right. Load balancer create. Do it again. All right. List. Pending create. Okay, that's good. It's lasting a little longer. Error. Okay, so what's wrong now? Let's go back to Octavia. Could not find a suitable TLS-CA certificate bundle. Invalid path. Oh. Let's grab this path. What did I do wrong? Certs. Ooh. Why does this say server CA? This should probably say. Just make sure. Yeah, this should probably say CA server 01.pem. Yeah, CA server 01.pem. Generate CA server. Okay. Yeah, I just didn't create. So let's fix that right now. CA server. Nope. Server.pem. No. I'm confused now. Actually, let's do this. Let's put the log up top. No. I'll have the log on bottom. I'll just deal with the file up top. VI Etsy Octavia Octavia.conf. Search for server ca.pem. It just defaults to that apparently. Does it? Did it? Settings only needed with. This settings deprecated. It is now automatically discovered. This must have to get set. That's probably. CA underscore server underscore 01.pem. And then we'll want the list deletes and create. All right, list again. That's the worker.log and just follow it. Load balancer. Alright, so that's what's going on. I need to be specifying all these paths. I apparently did not do that. Alright, vi client.pem. Of course, it has a weird name. Client-pem. I'll have to fix that one as well. Okay, delete, create, and watch it go. Not connect to instance, retrying. 9443. Oh. Okay, so this is a little bit better. Our security group just doesn't open for 9443. All right, so we'll create, leave that 9443. Okay. And we won't have to restart the services, but just to be safe, we will delete and recreate. Oops. We'll have to, well, we should delete and recreate the load balancer. Just heal it. Is it updating at all? It is. 9443, that was the one I just created, and it's not happy. OpenStack pending create delete. For some reason I'm having a hard time reading this. Okay. Apparently, this is an intended feature. So when do you time out? I mean, seriously though, when do you time out? At some point, it needs to just say it's not. You're not talking to it. Um, I mean, I guess I could just delete the. OpenStack server list. Server delete. I had a feeling that was just going to pull the rug out from underneath it and it was going to get confused. Alright, so while I'm thinking of it, the CA server.pen. Here. And this will, let's put this this side. Let's just rename this instead. So this will be server underscore CA. Server underscore CA. And then the other one was the client dot pem. Okay. Alright, so if for some reason we have to recreate, which we may have to, this at least won't be broke again. I still have to make those other changes. But this is seriously not... There's no force, there's no way to tell it to just stop. There should always be a way to override. I mean, I understand why you wouldn't want to provide it, but there should, like, when you're doing testing like this, you should be able to override it. Simply because if you're deployed on physical hardware, you can't treat that like a cloud. I mean, you try to best you can. That's why I'm writing the Ansible stuff, but that's, you know, if I have to recreate because this is stuck, that's how many hours of downtime. If you're lucky, one. If your stuff is not broke, which one always hopes, but expect failure. All right, well, I guess I'm recreating this. It's either that or spend a bunch of time trying to undo it, and I don't want to spend that time right now, admittedly. All right, so let's make some notes. Boom. Boom. All right, so first off, just add some stuff at the bottom here. So this is my restart. This is my security group rule create. I'm also going to want these. Why? Oh. Oops. Okay. And then was there anything else? Load balancer create, a bunch of that. Security list, rules, project list. We want this as well. Nope. I had a feeling that was going to happen. Okay. All right. So what I want? Oh, actually, Octavia.conf. Let me get the ports that I want, or the values that I want to catch, and ultimately make sure I change. So we've got the amp image ID, the amp boot network list, and the amp sec group list. All right, I think with that we've got all the things recorded that I manually changed. Let's do destroy reconverge. Oh, and for APA, do it again. All right, so now we wait for that to come back again, and then we'll run through those steps. I'll admit I'm extremely tired right now. All right. I really want this done, but I don't think it's gonna happen tonight. Okay, what am I thinking? I'm thinking that's right. Do which I think I have here. Yeah. All right. So ultimately, in order for these, in order for the project stuff to work, I need to. We'll need to create another OpenRC, which I think is being done in Keystone. I'll need that. Yep, Keystone. Tasks, main. Here. Okay, it's the OpenRC generator. Code OpenRC generator. What was I doing here? Oh, I was creating the cloud YAML. What can I do? OpenRC clouds.yaml. Ah, this is what I need to add. So I can do default. Let's do this. I think what I want to do, much of the same. We'll just have another one. This will be Octavia. Our domain name. So project user domain name, project name. This we want to be service. Username Octavia. We'll just brute force this for now. All right, and I think with that we'll be good. Might have caught it in time, so I might actually get it here. In that case, what I can do, here, cloud Octavia. We'll want that here, here, here. All right. Create glance OpenStack public endpoint. Auth plugin requires parameters which were not given. Auth URL. Module failure. What? But it is there. Create glance OpenStack public endpoint. I need glance just want to make sure I'm not missing something. Tasks. Public endpoint, cloud, default. What's the problem? In fact, it created the service. Howdy, blah blah blah. Upgrade cloud module. Auth plugin requires parameters which were not given. Auth underscore URL. That should be working. SIM card options. Auth plugin requires parameters which were not given. Auth URL. Wait, what? No, I don't want. Yeah. This looks right. Auth underscore URL. Keys match the OpenStack global projects, but without the -os prefix. In the above example, the auth URL for Rackspace Cloud is taken from clouds-public.yaml. Okay. This should have worked. I don't see anything wrong with this. Same thing. What the heck? I am officially confused. Oh, what am I missing here? There's no separator. According to this, there's just no separator between segments. Clouds, double space, default, quad space, auth. Clouds, double space, quad space, auth URL. And I could put it first, but it shouldn't matter. I guess we can just try pushing it up. Like I said, shouldn't matter. Really? Com escalation is what's caused. Why did this not break before if that was the case? It... Alright, so if I do... I have become known. It depends on cloud name. Oh. I just need one thing wrong, the whole thing just, it's like, oh, bad auth URL, blah blah blah. Nice, guys. That's real smart there. Octavia's not even used yet. It can't be that, right? I want to try something. Put that back. I go back and take this out, and I this rerun this. Why does the Keystone config files keep getting updated? Okay, apparently the YAML there did not like. Why would it not like it? Especially since it's not even for that section. Set up Keystone config file. That's why. Set Etsy Keystone permissions. I really don't know about that. Trying to log in as Octavia before it was even made? Is that what the problem was? Ooh. Stop it. I hope that's not the case. That would be so annoying. That would mean you'd have to set up all of your users ahead of time. Or maybe update the file later? I really don't like that. I really do not like that. Well, let's see what happens. So, create and for image. Alright, so it's right there. It's got a ways to go. This step's usually the longest, just because of all the file handling it has to do. No upload. What I should do also, though, is the output, or the image ID should be in here if I were to save the variable. So I should save the variable, and then I could just tell one of them to print out so I can see what that structure looks like. Why am I not seeing? Oh, I think it's just register actually. Okay, all right. Register and for image. This won't work until I save it, and I'll just hold off for now. Register. Oh wait, I don't. Variable where you can get URL of image over. Okay, I don't want that. Take that out. Actually, not that. Paste it here, because here I want the actual image ID. Glance image, and then I want this. Register. LBAS network. Just leave it there. And do that. And like it's done. All right, let's pull up our trusty notes. Let's shrink this down. All right. Move this over. Oh, so actually, where did I have Cloud Octavia OS security group? And it looks like OS security group was successful. So this is a double-edged sword. So by having the Octavia user in there, my Octavia cloud works. Well, presumably works. I still have to test to make sure that they're gonna work. But this, well, and I haven't saved it yet, so it's not there. So actually, it didn't work. All right, backtrack. All right. Okay. So I was getting ahead of myself. What I could do actually. Let's go ahead and save this now. And then we'll do converge. And those steps should be marked as modified. And so we'll test if it works. Nope, same flipping error. All right, which means this is something's wrong here. What is wrong? The confusing part is, let's take this tab out, and then according to the docs, this should work. But what am I missing here? The moment I put in another user, it fails. At this point, the Octavia user should be in there. And it should be in the project. Whoa, is that what it is? Yeah, it should have all been handled. The project. All right, let me do this. Login sudo su source OpenRC OpenStack. Let's see, is it user? No. Nope. Yep. User list. Okay. We have an Octavia user. User show. Default project none. Excuse me. Octavia user role. So it became an admin of the project service. Role list, role show. That's not helpful. How do I confirm this? Ah, stop. No, that's not what I want. It's good to know. That's not what I want. Actually, that could work. Balancer ID IP image group. I don't see user. I don't see role. Did it just give up part of the way? Oh, it did 2 columns. Ugh. Okay. All right. So user, server secret role, request region. They have a service now. So, I guess don't think that my line of thinking right now is correct. Where for the project name a service is causing a problem, because otherwise, if I were to do let's move. If I were to do Octavia RC and I change project name to service, if I just do that and I source Octavia, OpenStack project list, it works. I'm in the service project, so I don't think it's that. Password. Oh, it's Octavia password, which should just be password. What am I missing? Project domain name default, user domain name default, project name. Username, password, region name, identity API version, verify false, insecure true. Why does it not see auth URL? There's gotta be a hint somewhere here. Of course, the problem though is, according to that bug I found, sounds like if anything is wrong, it goes and says the auth URL is wrong, which just there's gotta be something I'm missing. Clouds, name of one, and the name of the other on the same indentation. Auth, next indent in. Auth URL colon link. Project name, username, password, region name, which is without the so same indentation as the beginning of auth, as well as everything else. Really, the only difference between new Cloud YAML and old Cloud YAML is I added another cloud. It's really it. There's a line of thinking I'm missing. It's the only thing I can think of. If you're using Identity v3, you need to specify the user and the project domain name. User domain name, project domain name. It's all within the auth section. This is frustrating as all get out. This channel. Seriously? This is broken in 2.5. Oh god. What am I looking at? I'm actually looking at the Python code. Okay. Moving it in the 2.5 module also fixed my, but as I don't know what else I broke, versions don't use it in production. Oh, are you kidding me? Alright. Heck nabbit. That is so frustrating. Because if I look at the... I was purposely restricting the Ansible version I was using because I didn't want to move yet. 2.5. Well, because there were other problems introduced when I moved to 2.6. Especially with this version of OpenStack I'm doing. Because if I move to Ansible 2.6, I also have to move or change the OpenStack version I'm using from Queens to Rocky, because otherwise modules were just flipping out and breaking. Or at least that was the conclusion I came to. I could still be wrong. This is not a change I want to do right now. What I may have to do... I don't like doing this because it's brute forcing. Arr. What I may have to do is go get a boat and just sail away. I may have to instead of saying cloud Octavia, which it says it's somewhere in here, because I changed it. Yeah. So take out the second cloud entry and change cloud Octavia to the auth section. And then just set the values in there. On the plus side, I only have to do that with the Octavia ones. On the downside, I got to do it in the first place. let's take this out. Let's find the syntax for that. Ansible. OS security. No, that because I misspelled it. All right. Auth. Dictionary containing auth information as needed by the cloud's auth plugin strategy. Actually, did they have an example of that here? There it is. All right, so we'll do auth URL, username, password, project name. Where is, I need the other information here. All right. Glance, RC generator, pull that here. All right, so what I need is the following: auth URL, project domain name, which is just default, user domain name, default, project name, which is down below already. That will be service username Octavia. Password is password. It's definitely not production ready if I do that, but we'll work it for now. Make sure region name isn't on here. Might be. Yep, region name. Okay. That needs to be outside. Region 1. Okay. Auth URL. Let's just yank the auth URL from the thing that's there. Oops. Here. 127.0.0.1. What did I just do? Why does my numlock keep getting turned off? Port 5000. I don't need the trailing slash. No one cares. In this scenario, anyway. User domain name, default with a capital D. Project name, service, region name, identity, API version. Which isn't here. Identity API version. This is probably gonna blow up in my face. So I think part of the reason I was, well, maybe. Actually, I can't remember at this point, so I'll just bite my tongue. All right. Converge, or get out of here and converge. All right. Let's see how this goes, and I'll probably look at wrapping it up because it's a little early. I'm extremely tired. I have not slept well. Uh, Alright, so it doesn't like verify, which means insecure and identity API version was all off the table. Though, there it is. Alright, so verify is there, just not there. Verify false. Insecure. There is no insecure. Well then. There's no identity version. There's no insecure. And I can get the other two. So let's work with that. I'm so not happy that I gotta do this. I want to move to 2.6, but then Oh, come on. I mean, Cloud Activity is... Oh. Oh, it worked. Imagine that. Alright, let's copy that. Let's look for all instances of that and replace them. One more. Name it for... Wait, what? Oh. Okay. Go. Alright. That looks like that worked. So before I call it, let me do this. Let me put a note. Note to myself. Replace auth back to cloud with multiple multi-clouds. Once upgraded to Ansible 2.6. And I'll actually make this a to-do, so it becomes a flag. And I'll copy that, and anywhere where I did auth colon, I will put that note, because it needs to go away. I don't like what I'm doing there. It's too much back and forth. Okay. And all of them? I think that is. Alright. So that helps with one. I still need to go back and use the variables that I've now registered. I will also need to oh, what was some of the other missing stuff in here? I need to add these I'm missing a rule. Here it is. I need to add this rule. Put this down here just to be consistent. What's going on? Oh, this is multi-line. Okay. Put this there. So ideally, now that we've made the fix, I shouldn't need these anymore. I will need this. This ideally should be fixed as well. And then I need to push these values into the config file. Now that I've registered them, I just need to yank them the right way, or call them the right way. And then, in theory, that should work. You know what? I don't think I will call it early. I'm gonna have a change of heart. I'm gonna have to change my mind. Oh, all right. I think we can bang this out real quick. So, let's add this new port, the 9443. Port. All right. So what we want, make this a bit bigger. Security group rule. Okay. So I want this. And this will have a comment of security group to allow HA proxy heartbeats. And this will be 1443. Okay. Cool. And then what was the other one? Excuse me. Register these IDs, or I've already registered the IDs. I now need to pull those IDs. Register. I have 4. First one is the glance image. Second one is the okay, the 2 simultaneous ones are the LBAS network. And then finally the key pair, that is 3. That's the 3 I need. I now need to yank this the right way. Okay. Let's do this. We'll work on 1 for now. The 1 we'll work on shall be and for a glance image, let's look at that one. All right, glance. Okay, good. Sorry, my machine is revving up. I want to make sure it's not bleeding too much into the microphone. Okay, image ID. This guy needs to be. Whoop. All right, and for a glance image, but you are going to have layers. What was the thing I was doing with that? Not this. What was the last roll I did? That was where did I register and then God, what did I do? Nova? No, that can't be it. Nope. Okay. No, don't save that. You know what? I'm doing this the hard way. I should. Here it is. Register colon. This would be dot dot. They're all Octavia. That's not right. Cinder Ice Scuzzy. All right. Pulp server playbook. Nope, I have no idea what I'm doing. All right. Let us do a debug print that will follow up after this. Yes, save that. Bring that over. I probably have it right in my head, but I want to just make sure I just got it. Okay. Let's do this. Print variable. Neutron was it? Anyway. Debug message. For glance image. And that's it. All right. Converge. So the main thing I'm looking at is when it prints. Oh, wait, what was that print? I thought I still had something here. Oh, wait, is this the thing I had? What am I doing? This is the thing I had. Anyway, this works. All right, so it's just ID. Okay, I could work that. Is it just? I think it's just dot ID. So let's do that. Nope, not that. This one. To the side again. Dot ID. And then and for glance image, LBAS network. Dot ID. And the key pair. Key pair. Where'd you go? That ain't it. Oh, wait, key name. Okay. All right, so that actually should be fine. I don't need. All right, that's the debug I was looking for. All right, which really should go away at this point. I don't actually. Okay. All right. A little scatterbrained, but I think I got it. So let's verify. Nope. Oh no, no bueno. No. Oh wait, did I? Oh, it's just. I ran it before I had the ID in there, and so it just has all that junk. So it just should be able to just run it again, and it'll clean itself right up. I should probably get out of the file. Okay. Yeah. You can do it. Almost there. Do. Almost there. Actually, should have already been there. Okay. Glance. Image ID. Yeah. Woo. I'm tired. My woos are weak. Alright. Network list is there. Cool. Sec group list. That was not by hand, right? Oh, it was. Dang it. Alright, I forgot one. The security group. Silly. Yeah, I didn't do this. Register. What did I call the others? Dang it. M4 key. Okay. Alright, nothing special. Octavia security group. And take that. This guy. .id. Okay. Alright. So we will run this one more time. And then I'm trying to think. Can I just do the group? I'll just do the load balancer create command. Alright, so I want one of these. And once this finishes, I'll log in, print the two vars, or the two values I need. I need this. Just put that there for now. Just small indications that they should be there. Alright, log in. Sudo su. Su's a very special person on the computer. Source OpenRC. OpenStack project list. Weird. OpenStack subnet list. Alright, here's the project list. Project. No, why are you doing that? Project. Okay. And it's the subnet. Go. Dang it. Oh, I didn't. Source. Go. No. Trying to be fast, but I'm not being efficient. Pending create. That's a good sign. Or that's a promising sign. All right, var log Octavia. Warning, could not connect to instance. Dang it. 192.168.53.8. Ow. Numlock, seriously? Yeah. Oh wait. There's nothing to route 53. The 53 subnet. Alright. Well, there should be one, shouldn't there? OpenStack should have created that gateway. Alright, OpenStack network list. OpenStack network show this wouldn't be here. Gateway IP 53.1. There's probably no. Yeah, I don't think so. Subnet. Show unset set delete list pool. This shouldn't be this hard, but my brain's just kind of fried. It's just so on the plus. So there is a good news, which is the VM stood, and presumably, well, would it have gotten the certs? Maybe. So the only downside is that whatever's broke is more than likely more of a vagrant libvirt problem. Where I probably didn't set up the networking right so that I can route it proper. And that's probably, I can't get to 53.8 because I don't have a 53 gateway, though OpenStack should have made it, but that's beside the point. So in theory, we're working with a lot of theory here. I could potentially deploy this downstairs and it would work. Yeah, maybe. So I think what I'll do is off camera, I still have where's my notes? I still have to here. I still have to migrate this data. I'll migrate the data off camera as well as redeploy OpenStack downstairs and see how Octavia goes. And if it works, that's great. We would still have to put a to-do item of fix the test bed, or the test bed deployment, because otherwise that's not gonna be much use in the future if we ever change, update features and whatnot. But if that works, that'd be great, because then I can deploy OpenShift and start actually trying it and see if Octavia works completely. Do this, ideally show that on Tuesday, Thursday, and then move from there. But we'll see. So I think I'll go ahead and call it a night here. I appreciate you tuning in. I know it was potentially a frustrating episode, not the most invigorating, and I'll admit I was tired, so I probably wasn't the most lively of things to watch. But I do appreciate you tuning in. Hope you learned something, and I'll do this off camera, and hopefully on Tuesday I got some great news. Until then, have a great rest of your week. Have a great weekend. I'll see you on Tuesday. And until then, happy coding. Have a good night.